I didn't even know it. What is happening, everyone? We are officially live. It is May 9th, 2024 at 2 o'clock Eastern. Dave, what is happening, brother?
I am feeling excellent, my dude. I've got multicam set up today. What's going on? We're ready to rip.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going. So give us a second here, guys, to test a couple things, because we are officially trying to go live on multiple platforms. So if you're joining us on Facebook, say live on Facebook. You guys are checking in on YouTube. I guess hashtag live over there so we can see who's tuning in on the channel live on YouTube. And if you guys are new to the call, the way this works is we show up, we help you guys with whatever you are struggling with as far as sales, marketing, operations, finance within your content strategy business, or really just your business in general. But, you know, me and Dave are content savages. So that's what we're here to do. Help you guys just keep making moves. Dave, my man.
What's going on, my dude? How are you?
Dude, it's another day in paradise. As you see, the studio here is slowly coming together. It's finally getting all my monitors dialed in and camera set up, and just putting foam everywhere, because that's what you do when you're a content creator. Duh.
You've got the 3 checklists. You've got, well, actually 4. You've got foam. You've got the articulating arm in the shot there. You got plants, and you got colored lights. Pretty much, like, if you guys want to massively blow up your businesses, make sure you have those 4 things.
Well, dude, here's how I look at it. Like, I spend more time at this desk probably than anywhere else. So yeah, you got to have somewhere you enjoy working and that excites you and inspires you to make it happen. So for me personally, I'm a professional bronzer. If you guys don't know what that means, it just means I really value being able to go outside in the middle of the day, do whatever the hell I want. Could be ride my bike, could be go to the pool, could be go chase alligators in the Everglades, whatever it is. I hated working that corporate job where they're like, you have to sit in this office from 9 to 5. And I'm like, why couldn't I take an hour or two to just go enjoy the day and then get this other stuff done later? So I've always embodied that as I've been going. And when I look outside and I see it's a gorgeous day, guess what I want to do? Go outside.
Get the hell outside, dude.
So instead, I put up blackout shades. I try not to leave my room or look outside until noon, just because that keeps me dialed in the morning to get my deep work done. And the space, you realize that was probably the biggest thing I lost in the RV, was being able to flow when I needed to. Every time I was doing a live stream, it was got to set up. Every time I wanted to record, had to rearrange stuff. So there is a, just like we stress systems in your business, there's life systems you guys should also be working on setting up. Maybe we should start there today. We haven't really dove into that. Because how I look at it, Dave, is you can only make so many decisions in a day. So there's little things that I used to waste all this energy deciding on. It could be little where am I going to work today? I can go anywhere. Should I go here? Should I go there? Should I go there? Boom. That's energy wasted that I could be using towards growing my business. So Dave, for you, curious to know, what are some of the things that you've kind of implemented in your daily routines or just overall life to kind of help you just keep flowing?
Yeah, dude, it comes down to what do you want to actually focus on? And I've heard you could probably hear that if you're maybe.
Oh wait, Dave, I don't know if we're actually live. 1 second here.
I don't know if we're actually live, at least in Facebook. I can't tell YouTube, but
on Facebook,
I'm not seeing it on Facebook.
I don't think we are. It's going live now. Good intro. YouTube, you get to see both.
Bada bing, bada boom. Is YouTube live right now? Hello.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Are we live? 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 Am I live? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't actually know.
There's an empty post on Facebook.
Oh, baby. We are officially live. Let's go. For those of you who are just tuning in, me and Dave were talking for 5 minutes to nobody. So we want to re-welcome everyone to our Thursday live stream here. It is officially May 9th, 2024 at 2 o'clock Eastern. Dave, how we feeling today, man?
Feeling good, feeling live, especially now that we've got, the vocal cords warmed up for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. We were back here. So, funny story. The longest I went on a live stream before I realized I wasn't live was like 25 minutes. And I was just like, man, no one wants to show up to the Q&A call. So I am just going to keep ranting and practice my filibustering skills. And like 25 minutes in, someone messages me like, dude, where are you? Everyone's waiting. And I was on the wrong Zoom link.
Dude, there's something to be said about like the filibuster skills, though. I gotta say, like, so many people I talk to are like, I want to start like getting on camera, but I'm just so uncomfortable. Like, dude, once you hit the point that you can talk for 20 minutes to nobody, you've moved past that fear.
It's a good challenge in life. And there's a good story I'll get to in a second. I'm just seeing some comments coming. What's happening, Ahi, Peter, Farid, Dave, you're already in here. So what's up, guys? If anyone else is tuning in live on Facebook, go ahead, #live. You guys are tuning in live over on YouTube. #live as well. We'd love to know who's tuning in live so we can answer your questions as they come up. Because they're new to the call.
Dude. Come on.
Hashtag YouTube. Dude, I just make up hashtags like pretty much just make up everything as I go.
There's no rhyme or reason to the hashtags. It's the filibuster skills kicking in.
Exactly. Oh, baby, we do have fucking comments coming through on YouTube. Am I allowed to curse? Don't give me a strike. I'm still trying to get 1,000 subs there, 8 years in the works. Instead, I just teach people shit. All right. So, Dave, as you can tell, we're fired up today. My man, fill me in. How's everything been going this week? What's happening?
Dude, everything's good this week. I've been dialing in this setup here. We were kind of touching before we were live on Facebook about like the desk setup, the office setup, not having to get things dialed in. I've spent a whole day dialing in this whole setup here so that I can just rip and record.
Can you go through that
and all that?
Can you go through that one more time? It was kind of like choppy on this end, but it's sick.
We got this here. We got this over here. You seeing this? Oh, is it switching? Yeah. It's awful quality, but then we got this one here.
Oh yes. The top down's awesome because all the time I'm trying to, especially editors, stress hotkeys and like how I'm navigating through the keyboard, which saves so much time. So I love that. As you can see, the setup's getting dialed over here. I got a freaking giant shark on the wall.
Oh, wasn't ready for that.
I'm not ready for it every single morning, dude. And I went fishing with my dad a couple years ago. We caught that thing. He decided it would be a fun gift to get a 7-foot replica taxidermied. So now I have this giant 7-foot shark that I never know what to do with. But first thing in the morning, I look at that thing and I'm like, all right, you're going to be soft today or are we going to go out? We're going to be a shark. Like sharks got to hunt. You got to get out there. So
I love it.
The setup's coming along. It makes it so much easier to just get in your flow. And before we were actually live on Facebook, me and Dave started going into, we talk a lot about systems. And a lot of what's in the starter kit or the other programs are all around just like, here's a framework, here's a system for you guys to develop because now you can teach people below you, bring people in, hire them, etc. But me and Dave started talking about life systems and how they're just as important when it comes to becoming a successful entrepreneur. So for instance, when I was first starting and had all the freedom in the world, I was like, every morning, man, I could go work anywhere today. Should I go to this coffee shop? Should I go here? Maybe I should go to a different city and a coffee shop. Maybe I'll meet someone there, That was a decision wasted on something small and not really relevant to me growing my business that day. And it took energy away from the higher and bigger decisions that I had to do. So Dave, what are some of the things that you've kind of set up in your life or your business? I mean, your life more so.
Yeah.
Day to day, week to week, year to year that help you keep executing like at a higher level?
That's a great question. And the answer, there's a variety of answers. One of them that comes to mind right away because I'm seeing myself on the screen here is like the good old Steve Jobs where he's like, I just wear the same shit every day. I like 2 years ago, I just bought a crap ton of Adidas shirts. I have like 7 of this exact shirt in my closet. And it sounds like, oh, like Steve Jobs is making like $1 billion deals. It makes sense for him. Dude, let me tell you, there's just one less thing you need to think about. Like if I have to, I'm at a point now where if I have to like go out somewhere and I'm looking at all like clothes and crap, I'm like, I just grab my my old reliable shirt and head out. Like I think for me, it's just knowing that there's a few anchor things that are just off my plate to think about in a day. It makes it easy. So like the shirt is one, the setup here. I know that if I want to start recording content, because I'm putting out daily content now, like it's as simple as just hitting record on something and starting to go, or like putting my phone up on like the arm that I have right there and hit record, and then I've got it dialed in. So it's just these little things that it's kind of like take note of what are the decisions you've got to make, where's like friction, what
Yep.
takes mental power that you don't give a shit about. How can you eliminate that? So those are just a few of the simple things for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm laughing at the clothes thing because that's like the biggest thing for me. Like I have every single shirt I own is just the same t-shirt, but in just different colors. And like every 6 months, I just order like 5 new ones. Lucky Brand t-shirts. If you guys need a good shirt, just buy this thing. It's like $25. Every pair of shorts I own, they're the same thing, just different colors. I have 2 pairs of jogger pants. That's like it. Like, so when I travel, it's just like sweet. The same clothes. Every time I need to put something on, it's super easy. And with business, I have the same thing, but I have the Content Savage hat now. I'm working on all the other apparel. But with DNC, I just made a shirt for shoots, like a long sleeve one that was a little bit more like performance material. And then I had a polo just embroidered. So I'd wear one of those 2 every single day when I went to a co-working office. So now I eliminate the need to figure out what I'm going to wear. I eliminate the need to figure out where I'm going to go work. I eliminate the need for what am I going to eat for breakfast. I just eat the same exact thing every single day. Like these are all little things that could have prevented me from actually getting into the one big thing I needed to do for my business that day.
Yep. Yeah.
So another thing is doctor appointments. And just appointments in general. So this is interesting because I'm talking about my experience here. When I was trying to figure out where all my time was going, I know a lot of people here are probably saying like, dude, I just don't have enough time for that. Okay, well, where the fuck is your time going? Get clear on it. So what I did was I literally mapped out as much as I could every single minute of the day for a week or 2 and just created blocks of time around like where it was going. Okay, this was 10 minutes wasted on Instagram here, 25 minutes responding to this email, hour driving to a shoot, doing a shoot, whatever. Just logged it all. And I noticed like I always had these weird appointments. Like I would have a sales meeting 30-minute drive away at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or a doctor's appointment that afternoon. And at the time that day, I was like, sweet, now I got to get to this meeting. This is the number one thing I need to do today. But when I looked at like, as far as efficiency went, it was, I could just do those like sales meetings, like on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, and have Tuesdays and Thursdays without anything on the calendar to actually get deep work done. Or with my doctor's appointments, like I realized I loved having them on the schedule because it gave me an excuse to not have to worry about what to do in my business. It gave me a reason to be like, oh, well, I got to go to the doctor today. Oh, well, I got to go to this appointment today. So now tomorrow I have 3 appointments. It's going to be a nightmare. I'm going to feel like I got nothing done, but I'm so mentally prepared for a nothing day.
Yep.
So guys, moral of the story is get clear on where your time's going if you constantly feel like you don't have any hours in the day. Because getting stricter on your time management is what is going to allow you to actually have the time to do what you need in the business instead of reacting to things all day throughout the day.
Oh, there I was muted. Yeah, dude, I think it comes down to like I guess, prioritization, you know, and figuring out, which I think is something that a lot of people actually have difficulty with, which is kind of like the unspoken thing of systems, is like, it's not just decisions about what to do. It's about decisions of like ranking what are the most important things to do. And when you have a system in place, you're just kind of eliminating not just the decision, but that mental gymnastics of like, how important is this thing to do? Like, I know I should be doing this, but I also want to be doing this. Like, where do these things rank? So you're taking out not just that like thinking about what to do, but also when in the prioritization, which is, dude, it's just like, it feels like a weight off your chest where you don't have to worry about that shit. You know.
Yeah, I call it robot mode.
Robot mode.
Like I want to go into robot mode, dude. That's how I get in a flow. It's where like literally there's nothing on my schedule other than the thing I need to be focused on right then and there. So it means like, you know, I'm just waking up. Like for me, let's use this desk here. I'm waking up early. I'm taking time to like think about what I'm going to accomplish that day, who I need to show up as that day, kind of like tap into just like the bigger vision and why I'm doing everything that I'm doing. You know, that's usually like an hour kind of getting into stuff. Then by like 6 or 7 a.m., I'm just flowing on deep work for 3-4 hours. By that time, I can connect with the team, make sure everything's good on all that front. By 2, I am headed to the gym. By 5, I'm back on to do a couple more things, pass out, repeat. Like I'm essentially like paying attention to nothing around me other than the exact things that are on my plate. And that's the mode I've been in all week because I'm leaving for 2 weeks. And it's like, okay, is this really the most important thing I need to do today? Or do I need to get this other thing done because I want to not worry about things for 2 weeks while I'm gone?
You know what I just realized when you were talking about robot mode? What's like it's a byproduct of going into that focus for me personally is like, I'll end up listening to the same song on repeat for like an hour and a half straight. And at first I won't even realize. I'll just be like, because I'm so into the flow, and it sounds freaking ridiculous, but like it's just something consistent. So it's not like a different change in other stuff. It's not having to choose songs. It's just like, all right.
So dude, I'll take it one step further. I only have 3 songs I listen to like ever. Like, so I have one song. It's a 4-hour deep house mix. There's no like relatively no like words, no singing. It's just like it's just a consistent deep beat, you know? But it is that like repetitive nature of just like, it keeps me in that zone. I don't need to, a random song doesn't come up on shuffle and I need to make a decision on what song I want to listen to next. You know, think about it. If you're like, you have your 10,000 songs on your Spotify and it's on shuffle and every 3 to 4 minutes you're having to find a new song, how much energy are you wasting doing that? You don't even realize it. Okay. So instead I have one 4-hour set for the morning. That 3-4 hour period of time, start it. Dude, I know when I get to the end of that, I'm like, cool, kind of like time to shift gears, take a break. The second one I have is 4 hours, but it's like a little bit more high energy and more like that early afternoon. I'm like pacing around. I did 1.8 miles by 1 p.m. the other day without leaving my apartment. Wow. I looked at my watch, dude. I was like, so I have a little bit more energy. I changed that song. And then the last one, it's 8 hours. And it's an overnight, like deep house set where it's like I'm sure people walking by the place are like nervous about what's happening in here when I'm like in that mode. But it's just the deepest house. And that's it. 3 songs. No decisions go into what do I want to listen to today. Sometimes we switch it up. Just throw on a country playlist and you're like.
Curveball.
Oh yeah.
It's a shock to the system. Dude, I think that there's something to be said there. And it's kind of like the parallel between the life stuff and then the business stuff, because I made a post, I think 2 nights ago about this of like, it was about like the workbook that I use for stuff for my projects. I'm like, dude, at the very beginning, it's just so overwhelming to think like, especially in video, there's so many things you can do, right? I started off in photo and then I switched to video like 2 years into doing it all. And I loved photo because it was like you're focusing on one frame, right? You have to make a creative decision, what message, what story, what tone, but it's one frame. You can put all that energy into that. Video, all of a sudden, it's this whole narrative that there's like a whole nother dimension, and there's just endless possibilities. And I'm sure that anybody watching this can relate in some way. So the thing is, that's what appeals to a lot of people, is that creative, the limitless creativity. But when you're in the business side of it, it's like, dude, if you can cut down on that, like if you're spending hours or days figuring out the parameters of like, what do we want to do? What shots do we want to plan? How do we want to build this out? How do we script it? You are losing money, or at the very least, you're decreasing the effective hourly rate of like that project. And I know some people are going to think like, well, that's not what it's all about. But if you're here in this group, you probably understand that. Like, you're here because there is a business component to this. You want to be able to make sure that you're doing things effectively. Why did I just shoot fireworks off my... Dude, is it the double thumbs up?
Come on,
Did it?
give me some camera action here.
Are we gonna get lasers?
What we want, dude. You can't do it. Apparently, Dave's the freaking sensei over there of live streams.
Yeah, dude, it's just like making sure that you know, okay, this is one less parameter that I need to think about to be able to make accomplish the goal. It's the faster you can get to the goal of whatever it is you're doing.
Dude, the same reason like the starter kit and my framework exists, guys, like it's so I can meet with anyone. They can ask me what we do. And it's like 2 packages. For you, it's probably this package, you know, and then it's like, well, what would that include? Like it's a certain amount of shoot days, a certain amount of deliverables on the edit side, you know, like, well, what if we need more than that? Well, double it and we'll double the amount of deliverables, you know? Well, what if we need less than that? Well, we would structure it more as a one-off and do it more as that early intro package. Like that's how fast I can navigate around and find the win-win with clients. So learn it because it eliminates all of that. I never am like, I don't know the 10 exact videos I'm doing for a client before I sell a 25K package or a 6-month retainer. I'm saying that's all part of the process. We just know we need the content. And you already told me that the VBC seemed to make sense. The testimonials seemed to make sense. And an FAQ seemed to make sense. Like it's going to be real easy to find 7 other videos that we can do for your business. So what I need you to believe in right now is the fact that like getting this content done is the right thing and that I'm the right fit to help you. I know you're making the right decision. I just want you to be all in. Like that's my process. So it makes it super easy with business doing that. It makes it easy in life when you have systems. It makes it easy in an edit when you just follow a process. You know, like we'll sit down and look at 12 days of footage and be like, oh my goodness, where do we even start? Well, you start with the first folder, you start laying out the best footage, and you organize that. And you move to the next folder and do that, and do that. And we're going to combine it, and we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it again. Like, it's all a process, right? Even our best editors will say, like, dude, I don't know what it's going to turn out to be. It's just whatever the process turns it out to be. Like, so I tell this to clients all the time. This is marketing. It's an iterative process. We can plan things out all the time. But if in month 3, we're seeing that the reels are really performing, do you want to go run paid ads or do more reels? Maybe we do both.
Yeah. I think that wiggle room, that's something that I really try and harp on. And if you're watching this and any of this is clicking or like making sense, like let us know in the comments, but also if you have questions about this shit, like let us know.
Give me a hashtag, hashtag clicking, hashtag clicking.
Hashtag clicking. Yeah. The thing is, like, when you are dialing in like a system, you can still have that flexibility. Like I see something that gets under my skin is so many of the like ads for programs nowadays where it's like, this is the exact step-by-step system to follow. And it's like, okay, that's useful to have, but let's boil down to like the understanding of it, because everybody's situation is different. If you can understand the principles, then you can have that wiggle room. Because if you go to a client and say, like, here's the exact program we're going to do, no deviations from this, what happens if month 3 things change and you notice something? You're going to have to revisit everything. If you talk about it up front, where it's like, this is going to be an iterative process. We're going to adapt. We're going to look at things. We're going to tweak. This is the best. These are the confines of what we're going to do, but we can bounce around a little bit in there. That, I'm sure you can attest to that, Ceebz, is like,
oh yeah,
that's how it needs to be for people.
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, clients have commitment phobia. Like, you're coming in asking for a lot of money for, even if it's not necessarily a lot to you, or you think it, whatever, you're asking them for something for a period of time where they don't know how it's going to go. That's like going on a first date with someone and being like, hey, here's what I'm thinking. We're going to lock each other into, 1 date a week for the next 6 months. And like, you got to sign up today. Like, not many people are going to agree to that. And if you are, I would ask you to question why you're agreeing to that. So like, look at it the same way. You're beginning a relationship with someone. When I'm trying to get in the door with someone, my first step is build trust, help them with what they need help with. We were talking on the side. He was like, yeah, dude, I saw that $1,500 deal. I was like shocked. And I'm like, hey, we already have another $2,500 deal from that client. And now he's just like, wants to keep talking about this big $25K package because his marketing girl's going on maternity leave and she's his editor and he's freaking out. And I'm just there to help him until he's like, dude, we really need you now, and all the while we're adding value to what they're already doing and they think they're doing amazing. We're just like, hey, have you thought about this? Like, oh no, we haven't. Amazing. So same deal. A shoot we did yesterday in Texas. Client hit me up like Saturday. He was like, hey, we have a shoot on Wednesday. Can you help us? I was like, could we just get like $2,000? I know I can get that covered with someone over there. Like, by the way, this I'm thinking is part of the bigger thing we're trying to do together. But I know with just short time, your travel schedule, my travel, like, let's just get together later this week and talk about everything that we need to. So we're meeting tomorrow to go through the bigger plan. He knows, like, we crushed it on that one. He met with Andrew Gonzalez. What up, Mr. James, if you're out there. So this is why I want you guys to keep learning the freaking framework too, because I need other people I can connect these other clients with. Like, there's such a need for this stuff. I can't breathe some days with how many people are trying to get us to do things. And I can't say it's 100% official. And I want actually the guys that closed it to post it, but DNC should officially have a 6-figure budget with a small country soon.
If you just heard that and thought to yourself, what the hell is he talking about? I had the same reaction.
We just keep going. And next thing you know, we're getting 6 figures to go do what we love for 2 weeks.
I think I want to use that quick pause as kind of a pivot that relates to all of that about kind of the frameworks of an ongoing relationship with a question that we got here from Peter that Ahi piggybacked on. Said, I got a question about retainers in practice, and basically says, do you kind of build it out for like a few months, or is it more like an eternal thing? It keeps going on and with it like into perpetuity. And follow up to that is, do you keep producing new things, or are you kind of tweaking and repurposing the stuff you created early on?
It goes both ways. In the beginning, we're usually more focused on creating versus trying to repurpose. So a lot like, I can look at my hard drive and consistently be like, there is so much here we can do stuff with. However, the things we've learned since we filmed it 1 or 2 years ago, and the quality of what we're filming and the messaging, whatever, it's all just better now. So it's like, instead of trying to consistently focus on the stuff from a year or two ago, let's look at this shoot next week in the Keys. How do we get the next 5 or 10 things done, dialed in, and set up correctly with some of the mistakes we made on the last big 2-week shoot? And then we're driving we're going to Key West on Sunday, filming with a hotel for 4 days. Thursday, we take off to head to Alabama to go fish with Yacht Armor for 2 or 3 days. Then come back to South Florida. I jump on a plane and go to Puerto Rico just to, get my dance moves on for a couple days at a wedding. So
bronzing or what?
I mean, dude, like, I literally got a message from him earlier, and he's like, by the way, everyone's expecting a bronzing workshop on Saturday, and I'm like, dude, I'm ready. Like, I got the yacht signed up already. So all that to say, like, we're constantly focused on new stuff and creating and getting it out there, getting it dialed in. So with clients, like, initially we're coming in to get content and we're trying to create a bunch. With one of our clients, the first quarter of this year, we had 2 or 3 shoots had to get canceled. We had no new content. We were supposed to go out on the boats. It was either weather, the boat was down, the captain was down, something. So for a quarter, we're supposed to deliver our quarterly content package, which would be 3 full 5-minute videos, I'd say, and I think 6 reels a month. So let's say 20 reels. But we had nothing. So all we did was go back into old footage. We started finding good B-roll from our select sequences because those projects were set up correctly. And then we wrote a VO with AI and got an AI voiceover done, where it was just like, if you've seen the Yeti commercials or think of like a Ford commercial where it's like, when the going gets tough, you head out to sea,
I wasn't ready for that. That was pretty good.
So that's a way that we're repurposing content. Another example was we had podcasts we posted 2 years ago on YouTube, 30 minutes in length. We saw through the analytics they were doing really well. Now that we're doing more shorts with this client, we said, hey, instead of focusing on the typical deliverables this month, what if we repurpose like 8 of these old videos and just do 40 reels instead? So we didn't do a shoot 1 month. We just repurposed, which let us build the formula for the reels moving forward better. And we did it that way. So that's where it's always like this. There needs to be flexibility. And how we look at it with clients is like when we sell a monthly retainer, and I say we show up once a month and we're going to give you, let's say, 2 videos a month. No, let me make it simpler. Show up once a month. We give you 4 videos, which would be 1 a week. Okay. If a client has 2 amazing things happening that first month, we will do 2 full day shoots that first month. We will get the content and then just focus on the deliverables moving forward. So this is how the quarterly package came up. Was with our travel clients, we just said, hey, what if we just did the 3 full days in one, and then we'll have the content for the quarter and we'll just deliver the X amount per month. Some clients, we got like 6 months ahead and we're like, hey, by the way, just so you know, we're 6 months ahead on shoots. So for 6 months, we didn't have to do anything. The videos were done. We're just sent it to them, and that's how it can work, guys. And like when we get slower with other clients, guess what I do? I try to push our current clients to get stuff going, knowing it's going to move those projects along, open up more free time down the road, etc. Let me know if that helps, Peter.
Yeah, and just to add on to that real quick, that's why it's so important to have that like actual understanding, because if you're following it to a T, like, well, we said we're going to come out and shoot once a month, and we said we're going to deliver these things per month from that month's stuff, like there's a massive opportunity that, like you just said, that if you understand how to recognize that, can talk with a client and be like, well, based on what we said here, I know you've got some big shit coming up, rather than like waste one of those things. Like if you're following to a T the agreement originally laid out, then you're going to be, what are you going to say? Just like, well, pick which awesome event you want to do, and then we'll have to let the other one go. No, recognize the opportunities and then know how to talk to a client about rearranging things to make that make sense.
Yeah.
We got a couple questions here coming in too.
Cool. Where are we at? Well, let me get all right, so we got a couple on YouTube real quick. So Chris was asking what we think about AI editing apps. So this is a tricky subject. The core message being, stop focusing so much on AI. In my opinion, there's little things that are going to help you improve your process, but you need to have a process in place. In other words, like if you're not currently editing podcast, there's no point to go learn and obsess on an AI auto podcast editor. Because guess what? In order to get that done correctly, you need to know how to film the podcast correctly. You got to make sure you have the audio channels individually for each camera correctly. You got to assign the mics to the right people. Like there's all these other little things. So I think they're phenomenal for improving certain workflows and improving upon processes that people are doing, or helping an amateur actually create something with the things they film with their phone. Other than that, I think for us as professionals, like chat sucks at copy. If you guys are relying on ChatGPT thinking it's good copy and you're like, oh my gosh, every time it spits something out, I'm like, what is this? This is not
we're gonna get someone here who's like, you're not engineering the right prompt.
Yeah, you're not using it. And I'm like, it's just not. Once again, if you don't know good copy, how are you going to know if it's putting out good copy? If you don't know certain information, how do you know if the information it's giving you back is actually good? 90% of the time, the information I'm getting is like way too generic, and you need to really understand prompting and like getting it to the right spot. So
it's another skill set that it's like, what's the return? I feel like with a lot of AI, there's a diminishing return where the amount of effort you need to put in to get really good at using it does not, the time span on the back end that you would need to be using that tool to get a return on investment for the energy you put in is insane. Like versus just doing it. Because if you already know something and you're already good at it and just do it, like I feel like a lot of people, myself included, early when AI was like all ChatGPT and everything was kicking off, I was like, holy shit, I'm never going to have to work again. I'm going to be able to train AI how to like edit videos for me. And it's going to be awesome. And then you quickly realize to get this to work would take so much additional work that it would become a whole nother job or a whole nother title. Maybe there's an opportunity there for you, but if you want to be doing this, don't veer off the road.
And Peter said it's helped him a lot with copy, but he still had to like fix it. Yeah, it's a great tool. Like that's all I want to stress. It's a great tool to invest 10% of your energy to on nights or weekends. Like here's how I think about, once again, a system for life. Monday through Friday at like 3:00 is what do I need to do to actually grow my business, make money, and take things to the next level? Not what do I want to do as a human, but how do I need to show up today for the company, for everyone else that's working below me, and who do I need to be? Can I just say like, oh, well, instead of hitting this person up and having a conversation, because that seems hard, I'm just going to like send some more outreach messages? No, like I have to go have those conversations. I have to do whatever. So every morning I'm waking up and kind of like setting that standard. And then throughout the week, I'm like, damn, I want to learn more about Bitcoin investing. Damn, I want to learn more about building an AI bot. Damn, I want to learn more about After Effects. Man, I would really love to learn how to map the Everglades with a drone and build an AI Python trap. Who can help me do that? You guys don't even want to know where my brain goes during the week. So part of my system is just drop it on the list. Cool. Now I know this weekend when I'm like, dude, I don't want to work and I'm just chilling, I'm watching TV and resting, whatever, pull up the computer and start watching YouTube videos on that stuff, And guess what? If I don't have time, it's probably not that important, because at the end of the day, the number one thing is like just doing what we already know we need to do, just continuing to do it. Like a lot of times we just don't do it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Did we have any other questions in the comments on YouTube?
We had one more. They were saying that we were giving a discount for the big course and he doesn't know where to purchase. I don't know what, there's probably 6 or 7 courses I've done behind the scenes here. So if you let me know when I said that and what I might be talking about, or if you want to shoot me a DM on either Facebook or Instagram, or email me at ceebz@contentsavage.com. You can send me a carrier pigeon as well. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So whatever works. 2 weeks ago, Dave, where was I 2 weeks ago? If anything, it was either the updated starter kit. I know I got a handful of that out to you guys We have the accelerator live. We have the sales deck live. Paid ads is 90% there. I made a lot of progress on it this week, guys. So I just need to record the videos. Otherwise, it will be Chinese to you guys. And then if anyone's interested in the mastermind, this week only, before Friday at midnight, I'm out come Saturday for 2 weeks. So I'm not going to be in Facebook group. I'm not going to be answering DMs, etc. If you guys want to be in the mastermind, you're interested in working with me and Dave over the next year, the special right now is you're getting 6 months for free. The catch is I want to get some cash in so I can order all the Content Savage swag, but to get started with this vendor, it's $6,000. And that's why I'm willing to take some time to do calls and bring a couple people into the inner squad. The guarantee is just you're going to get to 10K a month guaranteed. Like if not, I'll keep working with you until you do. That's how confident I am with the system, the framework, what we're doing. I am selfishly looking for more like franchise partners that can help me keep growing our operations with what we're doing with DNC, because it's like I don't know how else to handle like John Deere tractor. Like that's the conversations we're having. Like we're working with the smallest John Deere affiliate. They have $500 million a year. And they're like, dude, but we're so small. They work with the official John Deere marketing partner.
Yep.
They're terrible. Like, so these are the things where I'm like, hey, I need someone in every city to go make tractor videos. Here's here's $1,000 for you to, start pulling Oprah stuff over here, Dave. Let's go.
You get a project and you get a project. Everybody gets projects. Beautiful. Yeah. So cool. I think we are maybe caught up on YouTube. Send Ceebz a message if you still need to dive into that.
Yeah, and like it's more so hit me up if you know you're in, because I'm not like I don't have time for sales calls and stuff like that. It's not if you know you want help and you want our exact systems and you want more one-on-one, more group calls, community, that's what it's all about. The official launch will be probably in like another month or 6 weeks, I would say. And then me and Dave are also working on something a little bit less for, it's more of like a 30-day case study challenge. Because the goal is just keep pumping people in, keep helping people close deals, knowing that once you guys close deals, guess what happens next? Probably need to build your operations and want to take things to the next level. If you want to know what the funnel is in the upsell, like people are like DM me, like I'm afraid of like the upsell. And I'm like, if you know there's an upsell in everything in life, this program, and then there's one-on-one coaching, and then there's a mastermind. Like, if you want to join, awesome. Like, join. If not, hang out in the Facebook group and like contribute to the community. Like, that's most important to me, guys. Literally go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No. I just think it's transparency. Like that's the big thing here is like, look, that's why I am here, because I've seen so many like full transparency. I've seen so many different like programs of people who are doing like sales stuff and all that. And like anyone who knows me knows I like focusing a lot on like the frameworks, the interviewing, the client stuff, like all that. And the thing here is like, look, here's exactly what it is. There's not like smoke and mirrors. It's like, yo, here's what we're doing. Here's the mission. Like full transparency. If you're in, hell yeah. If you're not, like, we still got a kick-ass group here. So Keith.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure. That's like to me, guys, it's more about getting the community strong at the base level. And those that are interested in wanting to like obsess over this stuff and just want the help, like I know that's not for everyone. I'm here for that. Like that's what I love to do. That's why I've got this place, is to like spend a year getting this framework in place. And for anyone that's just like, oh, coaching, it's so easy. Like to build a 7-figure business, you need to know how to build a 7-figure business. Just saying that. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll do coaching, that's the easiest way I'm going to make money and like sit back and do nothing, but you can't figure out how to build the first business, guess what's going to happen over there? You're not going to be able to step out of systems. You're not going to be able to hire people. You're going to get trapped doing all the crazy stuff that you don't want to do. And you're going to say, oh, well, if I get into AI, that's how I'll make all my money now. Oh, if I get into this. No. Focus on the essentials and like getting your business framework in place, getting your systems in place. If you're not doing social media marketing and posting organic content to your audience, you probably shouldn't be focused on paid ads yet, because you haven't tested your messaging. You don't know what your audience is responding to. Like, these are all little things that you can keep doing to step into those next chapters.
Exactly. Yep. We got a question from Ahi a few minutes back. He says, how much do you personally profit from the monthly packages and anchor packages? This includes hiring shooters/editors and post-tax. Just wanted to see if I had my numbers right. And he says 25K equals 12K, 10K equals 4K. And before I'm going to let you dive into it, but I think the big takeaway is like, it's going to depend on your margins, your numbers. If you're
like, does it matter? Like, if I make 20K versus 10K versus 5K, does it matter? Like, who did I hire for that shoot? Who was the client? Why was I investing more on one project versus the other? Like, there's certain projects I made 20K in a couple of weeks on. And then there's certain projects I spent way more on because I wanted to build out way more of a framework to pitch it at 40K now, which is what we do. So, Ahi, like, there's a lot of like, you're stressing on all these little details. Like, what is the exact message? What is the exact percentage? What's the exact package? Like, it all comes down to having conversations with people and figuring it out for them. If you need a guide for pricing, the general rule is just triple it. If you need to hire someone for $1,000, triple the cost for what you charge a client. Okay? But once again, like, I didn't go to this John Deere company and say, hey, look, we only do a 10K and 25K package. I said, hey, dude, you got a problem. That shoot's only a couple days away. Do you have people in Texas? No. I will help you. This is not typically something we do. The reason I'm doing it is because I want to have this other conversation with you. You know, now it's teed up to be able to go in and talk to him about what the needs are. Once again, if I go in and pitch 25K and I don't understand his needs, he's going to say no. So, like, when it comes to that package, the beauty of it is if you charge 25K, you're going to be able to hire people for help with the work, and you're going to be able to get it done. Even if you had to spend 10K on getting people done and you had to hire two editors because the first editor did the whole thing, but you had to start over, you're still going to make 10 or 15K. You're going to build the process out for yourself. You're going to understand how it works. You're going to have a framework to show the next client. They might get the results. Now you have the case study. That's how you need to be looking at, like, getting into those bigger projects. And all the other videos I was doing, like, led into me just being like, look, we got to interview you and get B-roll. I wasn't doing talking head and B-roll videos ahead of that at $1,000 a month, and where I just made like $100 a month for one client. Like, that was my first retainer. All I did was triple it the next one. But I realized, here's what's going to cost me to do it. Mr. Client, I can't stay at $1,000. We need to reshift the deliverables, or we need to talk about increasing the budget.
Yeah.
I had to do it. I had to do the work and hire people and be like, this is,
Yeah. No, dude, that's the takeaway or the theme too. And that actually is going to nicely pivot into the next question that Peter has too. But it's like, look, we could spit numbers all day, but until it's put into the real world, like there's the Mike Tyson quote that I love. It's everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. You know, you can have the perfect, like, mapped out, like, this is how my package is going to work. And then there's always unaccounted for variables that come into play. And it's like that's why it's important to have the understanding. And the way to get the understanding is to do the shit. Like, yeah. Like, no matter how many courses you buy, masterminds you go through, there's still a component of doing this shit and embracing that, like, unknown and figuring it out.
Here's the equation. I can sit here and Dave could teach me everything in the world about working out. He could tell me the exact exercises I needed to do in the gym to grow these monster freaking arms. He could tell me what I needed to eat. He could tell me, like, exactly how to do, like, a split workout style, like everything in the world. But unless I go to the gym and then go to the gym again, and then go to the gym again, I will not see physical changes. It is the same thing when it comes to business. It is the same thing when it comes to mindset. It is the same thing when it comes to like your health and nutrition. All of these things that like Dave, take over.
Yeah. It's I think, we can beat the horse deader than it already is, but I think the main takeaway is just like, look, you can learn all the theory and all of the insight, but it's not going to mean shit until you put it into play. And Ahi, I know you got a lot of questions, man. Like, just start hitting the ground running. Just like put it into play, take the imperfect action, and see what sticks, and then course correct. Because it's a lot easier to just take the imperfect action and course correct once you're in motion. You have momentum, and that perfectly pivots into Peter's question about niching, which is something that comes up a lot. And he said, at what point? He said, Dave, at what point have you niched down Foxhole to only productions for blue collar businesses? Is it worth it to niche down so much at once, or try 2 or 3 niches at the beginning and then choose the one that brings the most profit? There's a myth around niching that kind of everybody faces when they're kind of getting going into business, especially with this. And it's like the riches are in the niches, and you pick something that's going to have a high ticket, and you're going to run with that and figure it out and line up with that. That is barely ever how it goes. For me, I went through a multitude of niches and tried niches until I kind of came here. And I can tell you right now, there's a very good chance that I will shift my niche or pivot my niche from here at least a little bit. And the way that I describe it is Battleship. If you've ever played the game Battleship, you understand that you have no idea where anything else is on the opponent's board. You are taking your best guess as to where it might be. And the odds are most of the time you're going to miss. You're going to miss the first shot. That is your first attempt at a niche. And then you keep trying, and eventually you get a hit and you're like, oh shit, I'm onto something here. And then you know that, well, that's a spot that hit. I'm going to guess right around there, and you get way more focused until eventually you've sunk the battleship and you figured out what sticks for you. That's niches. You are taking stabs in the dark until you get something that kind of hits, and then you pivot around that. For me, I started off my whole career working with bands and musicians, and then I pivoted from that because there was, oh, look at that, give me a thumbs up. I started off with bands and musicians. I pivoted into working with really just businesses in general. Then I tried focusing in on health and wellness and fitness, and it didn't really click for me because just I was talking to the wrong people. It wasn't, there wasn't as much value there. Eventually, I shifted until I took note of the path that I had taken. I looked at the common threads and I realized the best clients that I've had, that I've worked with on many fronts, not just budgets, but on many fronts, are typically in contracting or home services. And so it was a decision, a calculated decision based on data over years for me to go, I'm going to try honing in more on that. That was my hit, my Battleship hit. And now I've maybe got, a few hits on the ship now, but I'm still refining it. It's like I know the industry that I tend to do best work with, but I'm finding out like what types of people, what types of businesses are the best fit. Like we're working with a couple franchise brands right now. That's like, okay, if I look back at the history here, we've worked with multiple franchises, and there's something there, and I can look at the building blocks of that, of why that tends to work. But it took me fucking years to get here. So you just keep taking your best guess and take lessons away from each project until you go, okay, this is what works for me. Because it's not always just going to be an industry or a specific type of business. It's something about the fit for what you want to do. It's the type of projects you like to do, and a variety of things that all compile into like what works for you in general.
Yep. Pretty much everything Dave said. Like you uncover the niche unexpectedly, and the riches are in the niches is definitely true. But the fact is, if everyone knew where that niche was, there would be no riches in it, So you have to find it. You have to create it. You have to, it's built. It's not bought. Like with us, it's in the marine industry. by working with 1, 2, 3 different clients, going the extra mile and putting in so much extra work to figure out how to truly get them results with the content, run their paid ads, update their landing pages, figure out tracking, online funnels, what happens in their sales, like all of that has been an obsession for years, to the point now when once Go High Level came out and we started getting into that, we realized like, yo, if we just did it in this, we're building our own software that we could license to any marine business. So now the goal is this year, like, hey, let's be really focused on who we take on, because certain clients are going to take away from this, which has the opportunity to have 2,000 people paying us $100 or $200 a month for a software versus the consistent, we get time for money on the production side, you know? So you keep going and you go deep with clients. That's the best way you're going to start uncovering, because you can find the best industry in the world and you love working in it and people are hiring you. But guess what? If you don't know how to solve a big enough problem for them, there won't be this at the end of the day. There won't be a lot of it, you know? So helping them make good content, helping them with content strategy, helping them implement the content. A huge issue I'm seeing across the board is no one can hire someone to post for social. Guess what we're doing, guys? Even though we haven't done it for clients in the past, we're posting for our clients so we can build a system to offer it to everyone and charge $3,000 a month for just posting. Well, that's insane. Okay, go hire someone and have fun.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more that we're doing incorporated in that.
Yeah. And it's, again, the whole theme of everything. This is everything I've been talking about for the past like 2 months now, really like honing in on my content, is like, it's all understanding. The deeper an understanding you can get, the better you are, just on all fronts. Because Peter had a follow-up question and he said, okay, if you were to change your niche, would you change all the messaging to reflect that, meaning franchise business instead of the current copy targeting? Dude, that's just the tactic rather than the strategy. And would I eventually change it? Yes. But here's an anecdote there. I made my like internal decision to really focus in on the blue collar home services niche almost a year ago. Like that was when I said, this is what I'm going to focus in on. The process of the switching of the brand and the messaging and the targeting, like the copy and everything on all my stuff, I'm still changing it. Like, yo, Ben, what's up, dude? I'm still tweaking that because I'm continuing to find, just from rapid iteration, what works better. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not the biggest company in the world for working with blue collar businesses. There are companies that have that shit nailed down, but it's a niche that I'm finding, and based on evidence, I've worked well with. So now I'm noticing, okay, maybe instead of, like local blue collar businesses, I'm honing in on blue collar franchises, like home service franchises. It's still the same umbrella. And I'm not going to go through and change all my copy and targeting and like all of that on all fronts until I know, okay, I've sunk the battleship here, if that makes sense. So the takeaway here is the more important thing is how you talk about stuff, who you talk to, and those exchanges and the conversations you have. You don't need to have like this perfect message dialed in until you know that shit's dialed in.
Hey guys, guess what? The reason I'm good at helping you, no matter what the niche, client, industry is, whatever, is because I've talked to all those people and just asked them questions and tried to understand their industry and like how it works. And like, that's how I'm able to have a high level conversation with any executive, any CEO, any business person, and I speak their language. So when I speak their language, it's telling them, hey, look, I'm talking to a business owner, not just someone who's here to sell me on something. They're thinking about ROI. They're thinking about how it's going to look to investors. They're thinking about quarterly budgets and annual budgets and what the team is looking like under me and how everything's structured. All of those little things are the things that make the sale happen before I even talk about price. It's all these little things that are adding up to the fact that they have the confidence to say yes. You're just removing the questions that they might have in their brain throughout that process, okay? And then There was one, Ahi, because we only got a couple minutes here. Ahi is talking about, so Ahi posted yesterday about outreach. And my response was, hey, like, why are you trying so hard to get in touch with people who have no idea who you are instead of just people who already know, like, and trust you? AKA your audience on Facebook, your personal audience on Instagram. When I go to your page, Ahi, I would never, ever, like, I can't even send you as a referral to someone because they're going to be like, dude, this guy does like just horror films or whatever. Does he even work with businesses? Does he do this? Does he do that? How I see it is, if Facebook is not, if like your friends aren't like all the screen producers and all this other stuff out there that is sending you work, like, it's up to you. Do you want to work 7 times harder, whether it's only contacting cold traffic people, DMing people one by one, like asking them for something, you know, like I use content just to nurture people. And it let my friend, like for 3 years, I was doing the same thing with travel content. I did not want to position myself as a corporate videographer. I didn't even want people to know like how I was working with businesses. I wanted them to only like send me travel stuff. But the second I did a VBC and I started posting, hey, here's how your business or brand can use content to grow. Hey, my name is Ceebz. I help businesses and brands grow online through strategic video content. Hey, were you wondering if you needed to subtitle your videos? Well, did you know, once I started doing stuff like that, every one of my friends actually saw me as the authority. They realized I worked with companies. They had confidence with sending me leads and referrals. And I could get in front of 1,000 people, 2,000, 3,000 people a day by posting something. You already have it created. So that's where I'm like, dude, it's up to you. Like, do you want to continuously work harder, whether that's building an entirely new brand and getting new strangers to want to go like a business page that all they do is post promotional stuff, or just document the journey and start doing like sharing once a week. Hey, here's a new business I'm helping with content. Hey, here's a new brand story I did for this business. Hey, do you know anyone that's looking for business? I just had a big shoot cancel and I have the month of, what month is it? May, June open. You know, DM me if you know anyone that needs help with content. Like, that is how all my things, this $500 million John Deere distribution company, 27 locations. Guess how I met him? Slamming beers on a boat, flying a drone 2 years ago. Like, I had no idea who this guy was, but I was friendly with him. I didn't go up being like, hey man, you need video for your business? Like, let me talk to you about DNC Media. I was a normal human, made a connection with him. He followed me on Instagram. He saw my Yeti reel and was like, dude, this dude knows what he's talking about. He's not just like tanning his gooch in Antarctica. You guys aren't following me on Insta, you're missing out.
I was gonna say, I was like, wait, what the hell? And then I remembered.
Right. So like, I understand like there's an element of me that's like, dude, I don't want my Insta just to be business. But I'm like, I'm going from a business post on like, here's how you work with a client to, hey, here's some owls.
Dude, that directly ties into what he's saying though, because he goes, Roger, just a follow-up question, how does that mix with all my other film stuff? Because it would be pretty mixed.
Is it?
Like,
you do content. You work with a camera. Like, think about it. To someone who's not a content creator, do they know the difference between someone who's like operating a camera on a set and like writing scripts? Do they know what like a gaffer or like an ace? I don't even know what those things are, dude. So like, if you're just marketing the fact that you're doing stuff with your camera consistently, and while you are always doing the film stuff, you're still working with businesses. Look at Andrew Gonzalez. If you need a perfect example, Andrew's been working on a documentary for 3 or 4 years. He's raised like 300, 400 grand for this thing. He's still working with content strategy clients on monthly retainers because that gives him his cash flow to keep investing the other time here when he needs to. So it's more, dude, it's more of like, it's an ego thing. It's our ego saying, if we post this, then people will think a certain way about us. The reality is no one gives a shit about you. Everyone, like, who's watching. Sorry, when you're posting content, you have 0.5 seconds of someone's attention where they're probably like, cool. Even if they're liking it, they're probably not watching the whole thing. So you need to remove that fear from your head. And what I always tap into is, am I going to let this fear of some random people from 10 or 15 years ago that might be friends with me on Facebook or might see my ads or whatever, am I going to let that fear stop me from everything I know I'm capable of life and everything that I want to achieve in life? The answer to that is always no. It's a big fuck no. Because like I'm done playing small. I made that decision when I left the car dealership that not one day will go by that I'm not at least putting 1% energy in towards my future goals. When I realized I could just post content and people would come to me and I could still stay hidden behind the scenes and just do what I wanted and get better at my processes and my systems and have things to show clients and then be like, how do you think we got here? That changed so much. I cannot like explain it to you. It changed everything.
Yeah, dude, I think the big thing here is like, real quick, we got Peter that says like, talking about Ahi, I guess it's still 100 times more related than when I tried to transition to film production with a graphic design, web development background. Dude, honestly, like, I just want to say those are not unrelated. Like, those are so, dude, you're talking, there's so many people who leave a corporate job and then start a business. Like I know so many people that I'm very close with who like did exactly that and they're crushing it. And that's a big switch to be like, hey, I do multimedia. Dude, don't overthink it. We are so close to it that for us, it's like, well, these things are so different.
Yeah.
Nobody knows shit. Like everybody out there, if they just see like they do something with multimedia, they do something with video, like it's all the same to them. Just get in front of them, let them know that at least some of the shit you're doing solves a problem that they might have.
Oh shit. Nolan, if you're on this call, I apologize. Our call was supposed to start 5 minutes ago. I'm trying to message you. Secondly, what was my second thought? Okay, good. Thanks, dude. I was like, shit, man. I had a second thought, dude. Ahi, posting content, Pete. Oh, if you guys go to my YouTube and watch the Darren deep dive to 100 grand, Darren came from the music industry. I had this same conversation with him one day when we were working one-on-one. He's like, Ceebz, that list I put together a couple months ago, I'm finally ready to go after it. You know, he built this huge list of like 100 companies. And I'm like, fuck no, you're not, dude. Look at your Facebook. Do you think one of your friends knows you're actually creating content for businesses and helping them in that way? Or does it look like you still do music? He's like, still looks like I do music. And he's like, but it's two different things. And I'm like, well, what happens if you pull out your phone right now and just say, hey guys, I don't know who knows this, but I recently transitioned from music to help more people with content because so many people were hitting me up and needed help. If you happen to know anyone, I'm just working on growing my business, send them my way. He had 6 leads and 6 sales meetings in a week. He closed 20,000 in 2 more weeks. He hit 6 figure. He quit his 9 to 5 and hit 6 figures with a team under him in under 12 months. So do you want to do that? Or do you want to tell me, oh, it's two different things? Like what happens if you really completely changed industries and needed to bring in people? Are you going to say, oh, well, I was, 15 years ago, I was in college and all my stuff was just like, at tailgates being sweet. So I don't know if it mixes now. Like step into the next fucking chapter of your life.
Yep. Yeah, dude, a declaration post is underrated because nobody fucking knows what we do. Like
it shows people you're proud of what you're doing. It informs them. And the clearer you make it, once again, guys, when I say no one cares about you, I mean it because in the digital world, you have 10,000 things coming at you every day. And chances are someone's going to spend a second, 2 or 3 just trying to take in what the overall post is. So the clearer your caption is, did you know I help businesses get more customers online with video or help strategic, whatever it is, the better it will be for you. And by doing it once a week, once every 2 weeks, and consistently over time, I promise you that one strategy alone is the only thing you even need to show clients that this works. Like you guys are trying to prove results, but you don't believe in it because you're not doing it.
Yep.
Exactly. Give me a mic to drop.
Slam. God. Dude, well, I know you gotta hop off to another call. to the couple people that had questions that we didn't get to, Jonathan about multiple brands, Miko about process videos, post it, like, dude, post them up in the group, because if we're like, on these calls, we're here for like a selection of time. I know Ceebz is going to be gone for a little bit. Dude, I'm popping up into the group trying to answer stuff like every day, or at least like once a day when I can. If you have these questions, post them up there. I will get to them when I can. Ceebz will pop in when he can. And we have a lot of other people who have been through this shit that have useful answers to share. So do me a favor, because Ceebz has got to get off right now. Post those questions as posts in the group, and I'll pop to them. And other people will too.
Yeah, I'll do my best to get to those. Typically, just on trips, it's like we got a production going on, and then I got the other day-to-day of management, like between mastermind stuff and other DNC clients. Other than that, it's hard to get into Facebook, to get to all the DMs. Like, even as I post more content through stories and stuff, it's like the floodgates open. So I apologize to anyone in advance for the slowness over the next couple weeks. But once again, this is why the mastermind exists. And if you want 50% off and 6 months for free, hit me up, because I really want to order this swag, and I make weird systems for my money in life and business. Just keep buying Bitcoin, dude. Then I feel broke. So, oh baby, we're back up. Let's go. We got money again.
Oh man, sweet.
Side note: I'll never try to sell you Bitcoin on Instagram. Those are scammers. Do not fall for it. Cool, dude. All right. Well, I gotta bounce. Keep making moves, guys. Keep telling your friends. Get them in the squad. Let's keep building this community. Keep sharing what you're learning, what questions you have. Like, the whole purpose of a mastermind and a collective is to share information. And part of what I'm working on behind the scenes is getting Ceebzbot to be like this AI that takes it all in and keeps restructuring information in like a hive mind for y'all. So another thing I'm investing in to help grow this and take things to the next level. And I can only do so much. So that's where you guys come in too.
Yeah. If there's been shit that stuck out to you on this call, I know we've had a consistent like little group of people, like, leave a comment, but also make a post, because there's people who missed this, who are showing up in the group. Let them know what they missed and what you took away from it, and post your questions. We got a community here. Let's make it, an actively engaged community as much as we can.
Yes, sir. And let me answer this real quick. So Miko, for that process video, get it on the website. Let people know what the process is like ahead of time if they're curious about it. You can also send it in an email. Hey, by the way, if you haven't seen our process, check it out here. You can get it on YouTube, and start building out their YouTube library with it. Depending on how it is, you can turn it into reels. Maybe it's like you simplify the 2-minute video and say, hey, it's a simple 5-step process and just the highlights, 30 seconds long. So hopefully that helps. I got to bounce, y'all. Dave, keep making moves. Let's keep sharing. Let's see some deals close too, guys. Like, I don't care how big or small. Start sharing some wins, because small wins lead to big wins. We like big wins.
Hell yeah. Well, good stuff, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You could have spent your time anywhere. You spent it here. Appreciate you. Keep showing up.
All right. Peace. I don't know how to end the stream, actually. I have like 18 live stream windows open right now. This is insane.
Bonus content.
Bonus behind the scenes with Ceebz, never knowing what he's doing. Like, I actually don't know where to end this, dude. All right, here we go. Stop.
All right, bye.